new national lockdown looks likely to be imposed across England as the government was accused by Labor of letting coronavirus get out of control. The Daily Mail is reporting the government's key COVID-O committee that oversees restrictions is expected to meet today to decide changes to the coronavirus regime. It quoted a government source as saying ministers were looking at putting even more areas of England into the toughest Tier 4, while the Telegraph is reporting plans for a return of shielding for vulnerable people in England are also being drawn up. Labor has called on the government to bring in a new lockdown now rather than waiting, after Boris Johnson signalled tougher restrictions would be brought in within weeks. The first doses of the Oxford University and AstraZeneca vaccine are set to be administered today in what Health Secretary Matt Hancock has described as a pivotal moment in the fight against coronavirus. Just over 500,000 doses of the newly approved vaccine will be available from today, with vulnerable groups already identified as the priority for immunisation. Jabs will be delivered at 730 vaccination sites already established across the UK, with others opening this week to take the total to more than 1,000. That's according to the Department of Health and Social Care. 4 boys and a girl have been arrested by police investigating the murder of a 13-year-old boy in Reading. Thames Valley Police said the 5 teenagers are aged between 13 and 14 and are being held on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder. Police were called just before 4 p.m. yesterday to a nature area to reports of a stabbing, and the boy was pronounced dead at the scene. Nancy Pelosi has been narrowly re-elected as Speaker of the House in the United States. Ms. Pelosi had been widely expected to retain her post, but her margin of victory was only 7 votes ahead of Republican Kevin McCarthy, who again will be the chamber's minority leader. And finally, music helped people get through lockdown with more streaming last year, according to new figures. Music consumption was up for a 6th year, Record Labels Association, the BPI, has said, with 155 million albums or their equivalent either streamed or bought in 2020. There were 139 billion audio streams, up by over a fifth, the BPI said, with nearly 200 artists streamed over 100 million times.